Hi Burb Squad, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ryan and this handsome devil is Clyde, my Goffins Cockatoo. Now, just before we get into this video, I want to let you guys know he is a little on edge about being on video. It took a little bit of time to get him used to this kind of setup. So again, my apologies if the light's not perfect, if the setup is not the most aesthetically pleasing for now. But I gotta do what's more comfortable for Clyde, even if it's on a chinchilla cage. This is where he's comfortable, so that's how it's gonna be. Everything is not gonna be perfect right now, but I really wanted you guys to meet Clyde and get to know him a little bit more. If you watched my first video on Goffins Cockatoos, it was pretty like general statements about them, the pros, the cons, about Goffins Cockatoos in case that you're interested in one. But this video specifically, I wanted to go in more depth on how I got Clyde, how he became a part of my family, and his story. I do want to let you guys know Clyde is Spider-Burb. Let's get to talking about Clyde, his rescue story, the whole shebang. So before I just go straight for the kill and start talking about this, I do want to put like a little disclaimer here, let you guys know this video I am really aiming to be just completely positive. You know, I'll be upfront with you guys. I'm always upfront with my subscribers and let you guys know Clyde did not have the best life. Definitely some things that happened along his journey before he came to me that's very sketchy, very questionable, and honestly just heartbreaking. But today, we're going to move forward. I want this to be educating. I want this to be a realization for humans that we got to do better, you know, but we also got to be more positive because there's a lot of negativity in this community. Part of this video for my current subscribers, for my Burb Squad members, Clyde actually has his own community of people. He has his own little fan club. So in this video I also wanted to kind of give them an update because they're putting a lot of trust in me to take care of this bird and to give him a happy, healthy home. And hopefully after this video, this will reassure your guys' thoughts on, you know, how he's doing, and hopefully give you guys a happy, positive outlook of like, oh, you know, his life is headed in a direction of positivity. So that's what I really want to do with this video. And if you guys are from Clyde's community, please share some, and this is the perfect time to share, you know, a happy memory that you have with Clyde, how Clyde has affected your life, and just really Clyde add some positivity in this community. So with that being said, let's get into this video. Just to start from the very beginning here, you guys have probably heard me talk about one of my favorite birdie role models in this community. His name is Glenn Sereno, and I'm going to have like a little section for him in my description box if you guys want to learn more about him. He is an expert with parrots. He knows what he's doing. He's an amazing, amazing teacher, and I'm going to have like a little thing in my description box of just like giving you an idea of who he is, some links, you know, to check him out. He's a really, really cool human being. He's an expert with parrots. He works with parrots. He helps people with their parrots. Glenn left me a comment, and it was something along the lines like, hey Victoria, you know, check out this article, read about this bird, and he left me a link. So I clicked on the link and I read about this bird, and I was so excited, and like the moment that I read it, I was like, oh my god, this bird is hysterical. There's something special about him, you know? And in that article, towards the end, it made it sound like he had a really happy ending, and that's when I responded back to Glenn. I was like, oh, this bird, he sounds, you know, really, really cool. He sounds, for one, hysterical, and it sounds like he had a happy ending. Unfortunately, that's not the case. What happened was, a few weeks later or so, I received an email from Glenn, and basically it just said, you know, along the lines of like, hey, I want to run something by you. How do you feel about potentially adopting that bird from that article that I sent you? And for one, I was like in shock, and I was just so excited. For one, I was like, oh my god, you know, Glenn trusts me with the bird. He believes in me. I was just excited because like I fell in love with Clyde when I first read about him, and I spoke to my husband quite a few times before all of this went down. I was like, you know, I really feel like if it's not this year, sometime I would like to adopt a bird and really work with them and give them a happy life. This was what was great about Glenn. He's been very upfront with me since the very beginning on, you know, I'm going to say issues, but hopefully you know what I mean. It's not issues, it's just stuff we got to work on. Hopefully it doesn't come across as something mean, but you know, some of the issues that Clyde needs work on, and some of the things potentially that he may never get past. And he's been very upfront with me since the beginning, and he let me know. He was like, you know, and like all of our emails are literally like books long. It was great. Like he's so good with, you know, being detailed and letting me know like ahead of time, this is what you're going to be dealing with. Can you handle it? You know, I believe in you, but do you believe in yourself? Can you handle it, kind of deal. One thing led to another, and we scheduled a date, and we went and picked up Clyde. That's when I got to meet Glenn for the first time, but since I'm a horrible YouTuber, I didn't film any of that. I'm sorry, but I promise, I pinky promise, you have my word, the next time that Glenn and I hang out, I'll definitely do a video. But when I first brought him home, and the more that I had been around him, I started noticing that the concerns that Glenn warned me about started to show. Some of these concerns that we have with Clyde, the biggest ones, for one, he is absolutely petrified of hands and getting too close to him. Like, I kid you not, after the first couple days when he finally, you know, got settled here in his new home, if I would just even look at him in the corner of my eye, he would immediately like scurry off into a corner, and if I got too much closer after that, he would shriek in fear, which was honestly incredibly heartbreaking to see, because I mean, I've seen some fearful birds in my time, but Clyde was so incredibly scared of me. He will not step up on a perch for me. He would not take treats from my hand, from a spoon, nothing. Any object that gets near him, no, he ain't having it, which made things incredibly difficult. He would not take treats of any sorts. He would not, does not play with toys. And one of the most heartbreaking ones was just in general, he does not have relationships. He does not let people get close to him. He is incredibly guarded. He does not get along with other animals. He does not, you know, have birdie companions. He's had instances with other birds before me where he just like scurries off in complete fear, or he just does not like, he doesn't get along with anyone. Clyde is in Clyde's world and so guarded. We got like the Great Wall of Clyde up. He will not build relationships, which to me honestly was the most heartbreaking one to see, because he just doesn't let people get close to him. And another thing too, which was quite odd, and if for those of you that have an input on this, definitely let me know. Clyde, I refer to these as anxiety attacks. Clyde at night would have the weirdest anxiety attacks where it would fluctuate. It usually typically would be anywhere from like 7:30 to 8:30. He would do this. My Twitch chat has experienced this, where Clyde would just randomly start shrieking in fear. He would like he would hop on the side of the cage, cling on for his life, and just screech. And he would be like so anxious, turning around, looking in every direction. Honestly, you guys, it was like he was being hunted. He did that for about 10-15 minutes, calm himself down, and then he was good for the rest of the night. So strange. So that was another concern. But other than that, he was relatively quiet. You wouldn't really hear him much throughout the day. Sometimes in the mornings he would he would do a few shrieks before breakfast, but other than that, he's really quiet and honestly pretty chill. Like this right here is pretty much how he is all day. Some of the good things that have been happening, for one, his anxiety attacks are gone, completely taken care of. And my Twitch chat can actually confirm. So some of my Twitch people, if you're watching this video, put confirmed in the chat. And also keep in mind, I'll be doing some upcoming videos here soon on how we got all of this stuff that I'm talking about taken care of. But his anxiety attacks, they good. We are still in progress with the treat situation. He still will not take a treat directly from my hand. He will not take a treat from an object such as a spoon. That we're still working on. But on the positive side with that, he will allow me to take a treat and put it directly in front of him. And he won't shriek in fear, he won't bite, he won't be aggressive in any way, won't act too fearful. You can notice with his body language, he'll get a little tense, but he remains fairly calm. And if I drop that treat and move away slowly, he'll be fine. He still doesn't play with actual bird toys yet, but he does every morning when I get ready. He likes to sit on top of like the shower door thing, and I will lay multiple different orange slices in front of him, and he enjoys throwing them at me. I have the game called Toss the Orange Slices at Victoria, so. Will let me pet him for about 10 seconds or so. This isn't a guarantee every single time I want to pet him, but once I notice that he's pretty calm and relaxed and his body isn't so tense, I can usually pet him for about 10 seconds or so. He'll flip up the mohawk, and that's when I'll know, like, okay, we need to step away and give him a break. But still, progress. I could touch him. Now, the one that I am most excited for, you guys, oh my god, this one, you will be so freaking excited. He is building relationships with not just me, but with 2 other birds. Yes, Yoshi and Popples are officially his brothers. Everyone is like coexisting in harmony so far. Everything is going pretty smoothly. And actually him and Yoshi in particular are pretty close. Like they're pretty much best friends now, which I'm so excited. I will of course be doing a video on how I introduced all of them. Just to give you a little sneak peek. Yoshi and Clyde actually share the same cage now. I know y'all are gonna be like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Yes. Even if, hypothetically, we don't get to that 100% of him trusting me entirely, he has a bird friend. So the fact that he is building relationships, thank you, Jesus. So some of the future plans that I have with Clyde, now, keep in mind, this may take some time, but I want Clyde's community specifically to have a little idea what I want to accomplish with my little white floof. Of course, I want to get the petting completely taken care of. I want to be able to pet him without him, you know, getting so tense. Wanted to get him to where he will step up on a perch, take a treat from my hand. Next step that I want to do with Clyde is I want to harness train him. He, of course, like I said earlier, was flying around New York free. He had his flight feathers, and then they were trimmed horribly. And they are in the process of growing back. He's to the point where he can glide, and I want you guys to know that I have every intention that he keeps his flight feathers and is able to fly. But I want him to be able to enjoy birdie car rides with Yoshi and Popples. So I do want to get him harness trained. Now this is going to be a big step. I'm aiming that this happens this summer, but due to life-changing things going on, it may be delayed until next year. The ultimate goal is he is harness trained by next year, so fingers crossed we're going to get there. And the next plan of action, which leads to what I was saying about life-changing things. I know I was just talking about this last video, but I kid you not, you guys, life has a weird way of changing things. But we're actually going to be moving. Finally, we found a house that the seller isn't a ding-dong, and the absolute latest closing date is July 10th. We're thinking we're going to be moving in sooner, but this house is actually going to be better for all of us, really, but more specifically my birds. They are going to have their own outside aviary. They're going to have their own room that's just going to be completely like all about the birds. I'm going to be aiming to switch to an open cage door lifestyle, so I'm super excited about that, and I think Clyde is ultimately going to be so incredibly happy there, especially when his flight feathers come back. I'm so excited for things up ahead, and I hope that this video kind of gets you guys excited for him too, because this is some life-changing stuff. But yeah, this is basically a rundown on what's been going on with Clyde. I really wanted to get this update out there, especially for Clyde's community. I fully understand that it is a lot to trust someone that you don't know to be taking in someone that you love dearly, and I value that, and I take that kind of thing super seriously. I know it's a lot to trust someone that you've never met, and especially with Clyde's past, he hasn't had the best life, so I know it may be a lot to put all of your trust into someone that you don't know and that has never adopted a bird before, never worked with a bird like this before. So I know it's a lot to ask of you guys, but I want you all to know that if there's anything that I can do to like help ease your mind, or you know, to give you updates along the way. There's a lot going on in my life, but I will try to get back to you as soon as possible and help ease your guys' mind and let you know that he's doing fantastic. You would be so proud of him if you were here with me. You'd be so proud of how far that he's come, and hopefully that will show more and more in upcoming videos as he gets more and more comfortable with the camera. I hope that this helps. Clyde, chewing on the chair again? Thank you, Glenn, also for that tidbit of information on how to repair chairs. I fully appreciate that. But I hope this video kind of gives you an idea what Clyde and I are working on together forward. I hope that this is kind of a lesson to all of us that we need to do better in this community. Spread some positivity, and if someone comes to you and asks you for help or a question on birds, please be as respectful as possible, because you can be someone's research, you could be someone's source of information. So let's make sure that we welcome people that are interested in birds with open arms, help teach, help educate in a positive, uplifting way, and not purposely try to bring someone down. But if you are part of Clyde's community and you want to share like a fun memory that you have of him, please put it in the comments and let my community welcome you with open wings. Thank you for those that sent me the super sweet uplifting comments and thanking me for, you know, what I've done with Clyde. And as much as I would love to take credit and, you know, feel like the hero here, this is all Clyde, you guys. This is a bird that's willing to put down his defenses, put down his guard, and just accept relationships, which is huge from an animal that, you know, has went many years of his life not doing that. So this is huge, and I'm just the tool, I guess, to kind of help him feel comfortable to accept relationships and be a true Goffins Cockatoo. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, birbsquad. Yoshi, don't eat the mac and cheese. You're not supposed to be eating it. No. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, birbsquad.